Hey everybody, it's Bust with Bust Builds Decks number 17, continuing our playthrough of Balatro. And so in today's video, the thing I've been doing here recently is going through and finishing off the lower stakes for all of these adventures, all of these decks, whatever we call them in this game. And so I do plan on, after this video, to kind of circling back to the yellow deck and trying to shoot back up towards the gold stake, but I kind of feel like as we go through the playthrough, people aren't going to be particularly interested in like the white stake unless we're out here trying to scientific notation or go for some kind of big fancy seeded run or something. And so I would just like to crank through some of these lower decks, just nail through a bunch of hood rats if you know if you're familiar with the parlance. And so that's going to leave us in the red stake of the magic deck. And so let's jump on in, see what happens. Guy from it's from I understand that term from the 40-year-old virgin. They're trying to tell Andy what he needs to do before he has some sexy time with his new girlfriend. And Romany Malco tells him he just needs to go and smash through some hood rats, get a little experience under his belt. But shit, I'm sorry I got distracted. As far as the deck we're on now goes, there are a couple of strategies in terms of the fools. We have the two fools up here at the top right. I know my beautiful face is covering them up, but there are some cards we would like to strike with this. There's a couple of different, very high-level strategies that are good. Hitting the Hermit out of an Arcana pack is good. That's the one that doubles your money. To a lesser extent, the one that gives you dollar value equal to your Joker's sell value is good as well. But the general idea with the Hermit, say we have 10 gold, we use it, doubles us up to 20, and then we sacrifice both of the fools to copy the 20 two more times, getting us 50 gold for the turn. Not bad. The other kind of strategies you can take with this are looking for specific planets, the cheap planets, if you will, the high card, the pair, to a lesser extent, 2 pair, 3 of a kind, and then just immediately leveling them up to 4. That gives you a very solid base for a build-around style of deck. Last but not least, you can try and chase after flushes with these kind of things. So if you find the tarot card that converts 3 cards into spades, and then you use that to convert 9 cards within your decks to spades, that essentially wipes out the entirety of a suit and doubles up on your ability to make flushes in there. I'm not as particularly excited about hitting flushes now that we've really started to get a deeper understanding of the game, but nonetheless, it's still a reasonable strategy to encounter with the Fool. And so, let's try and smash those hood rats, am I right? Let's jump on in. As far as this start goes, I don't like kicking off with polychrome. Hitting foil for 50 chips or hitting plus 10 malt in the early game is exceptionally good. They do basically hard carry you up into ante 4 or so, but polychrome is a little bit different, right? As the runs kind of suck. Say we play a 2 pair, just getting a 1.5x on a 2 pair just takes it from 2 to 3 malt, right? That's not very good. And so I think this is a bit of a trap. We're not going to skip for the polychrome. Don't care about rerolling on the manacle either. So we'll end up fighting through all of these rounds. As far as this start goes, I think we'll just try and look up towards the high cards. I don't usually like discarding towards flushes anymore. I like just discarding towards high cards, seeing if we can't hit an ace high straight, see if we can't hit a 3 of a kind, see if we can't hit a big full house or something. So here on the 300 chip level, we've got the ace high straight. That'll give us the 300 chips we need. I think this is like 325 or 350 or so. What do we got? 324. Gets us out of the round for the max hands. Good stuff. All right, so what do we got out here? Man, the Uncommon Joker's giving 1.5 malt with 50 chips is a nice build around. We just don't have the money to do it. I can sell off the Fools. I know you can't see it up here in the top right. I'm trying to click on it a little bit, but we could just sell them for 2 gold. Still going to leave us a little bit short, right? We would only have 9 gold instead of 10. A real bummer there. Otherwise, the Queen's card isn't that bad. Hitting a single plus 13 malt in the early game here will be enough to just auto win a round, and so I'll snatch that one up. We're going to have to do a touch of work on our economy here, but I don't want to just run out here in the space of getting to the boss and then just immediately losing. Like, if you want to, if you want to manage your runs to where you just try to high roll into the first boss, and if you fail, you just start a new run, more power to you, but that doesn't really present very compelling content. And so it's kind of a bummer for me, maybe not as much so for you. But all right, we have this 3 of a kind 10s. I'm not quite certain how much it's going to need to actually KO the hand, so I'm just going to mulligan for some queens to make sure we get there. This 4 of a kind is definitely going to finish off the round. Good stuff. Guys, I was trying to remember the 40-Year-Old Virgin is one of my favorite movies of all time. Maybe my favorite movie of all time. Just the quotes that come out of that. I use the egg salad quote frequently in terms of they're asking Andy what he did this weekend, and he just goes on and on about how he made egg salad. He got the paprika and all the accoutrements, and then when he was finished making it, he didn't have any bread. So I love so much of that movie. I need to come back and watch it again here soon. I'm sure more from that is going to pop out as the video goes along. I just can't help myself. But reasonable thing here with the Wrathful Joker getting the plus 50 chips is good. I'm a little worried about our income at this point with only $1, but we can work on that. We can manage with that. We have a real nice base here, though, with the 50 chips and then picking up malt either off of spades or off of the queens. And so I don't think we're going to struggle to lose across the first few rounds here. All right, but let's keep on with this strategy. We'll just discard up to the big cards. See if we can't find some queens. See if we can't find some straight kind of hands. I'm missing all of that. I'm a little tempted to just go ahead and drop the 3 of a kind 10s to get it out of our hand, right? The only card that we're kind of excited to discard here is the 8. And it just doesn't really build us up towards anything. But I'm happy enough, like, if we hit a queen or if we hit a spade, like, if we're playing 2 pair, right? Like, say, ace, ace, king, king with an ace of spades and a queen in the back line. I think that that's just going to be good enough. Looks like we're also building up to a big diamond straight, potentially. Ugh. This has just been garbage. This is pure garbage over here. Is this all we're really looking to do? Like, play the 9 high. It does give us 4 malt off the Wrathful, 26 malt off of the queens. I mean, I guess that's as good as it's going to be. I don't think it's enough to get us out of the round. This doesn't feel like a 300 chip hand. Oh, it is. Nice. It's like a fucking 2K chip hand. Well done. Well done, high card. I forgot we were getting the 50 chips off of the Joker. And so I thought that was going to be one of those spots to where we get like 14 chips and then 70 malt. And it just doesn't turn into anything since you didn't have a good balance there. Oh my God, they keep turning up. Even Steven. I do kind of like Even Steven. It gives us a reasonable place to build around instead of going towards face cards, going towards the cheaper chip cards. It just does like a little bit of everything we need. Fucking fine. Money be damned. Who needed money anyways? Who needs it? I think we could just take the double skips here to try and fix our money woes. Like, I'm very happy with our Jokers. Like, we need to find something scaling at some point. We'll want to find more of a build around than what we currently have, but I think we can just double skip into this boss, collect the 11 gold, be up to 13, and then just start to fix that economy as we push through. Like, this should be a fairly easy round, I think, here. So we've got the 2 queens. Like, I'm pretty certain that we could play this jack and just win the round, right? We get 26 off of the queens. We get up to 30 malt with the spade. We'll take it a little bit more seriously, I guess, but I'm pretty certain that that's a winning hand. See if we can't hit a spade flush or something, I guess. Cycle through those real quick. Okay, so queen, jack. I saw that last queen and it was like, oh man, I gotta give up on my malt to drop this flush, but realistically it doesn't matter. This is going to easily smash the boss here. All right, 8,300 chips, not bad. Now we've got our economy in a little bit more order, right? We'll get like 10 for the round. We've got 13 in the bank. lets us kind of catch up a little bit from picking all of these high-profile jokers early. Makes you feel a little bit better as well if you go and start purchasing like Arcana packs to where the hermits can pop up. But looks like we're gonna come out here and just spend a shitload of money anyways. The 25% off voucher is exceptionally good. It easily pays for itself over the course of the run. It'll pay for itself 3 or 4 times by the time we're done here. And so good stuff there. Now let's purchase up this spectral pack, see if we get something really awesome out of it. Create a random rare joker, set your money to 0. It's kind of tempting. We've been fucking with our money anyways. And then convert all cards in hand to a single random suit. I'm not nearly as interested in. It's just as we're not super attached to the Wrathful Joker trying to play out the spades, but I think we just want to create this rare. Money be damned, am I right? Money be damned. So what did we hit? X3 malt if the played hand contains 3 of a kind. That's good in the sense it gives us something to really build around as well now. Okay. I'm on board with that coming up, and we've kind of hit all of the tenets of terms of good deck building here, right? Or good Joker building, I should say, that we have some plus chip cards, right? We got the Wrathful Joker. We have some flat malt in the Even Steven and the Spade thing and the Queen thing. And then now we have the X3 malt. And so if you kind of want to have a generalization of what you want at the end of the day, you want 1 card that gives plus chips, 2 cards that give plus malt, 2 cards that give plus X malt. And so we're right on track with that. If we can just get our money back in order. All right, I think we'll play through everything here, though. The boss blind doesn't scare me, right? Play only 1 type of hand. We can... shit. Oh, god damn it. I didn't mean to skip that. What's the boss now? All face cards are drawn face down. All right, whatever. What a joke. What a joke. But all right, let's please try and play to our strengths here a little bit. We've got the 10s, we've got the 6s. Here's a 3 of a kind 10. Should be enough to end out the round even without having any queens. That's bullshit. I'm so bad about that. Had no desire to skip that hand, and it's not the end of the world, but I'd prefer to be generating some money. Alright, so what do we got? Definitely don't want Celestial packs. Played face cards, give some money is kind of tempting. I like Hallucination as well. That's one that I think we'll snatch up, as we're in this space to where we've got a while to go here within the run, and we're already cheapened up a lot of the deck. So I think we'll be in a spot to where we can ideally open a bunch of booster packs. There we go. So let's see. I'm kind of interested in keeping these face cards. Maybe one of them is a queen. Now that we've hit the 3 of a kind deuces, I think this hand is going to be done. One queen. It's the middle face down card. I think we can move it to the end and have it work. It doesn't matter anyways. Alright. Good stuff. So what do we got here? +1 hand size, not bad. Arcana pack down below I'm interested in. And oh boy, we are landing on this just full 3 of a kind build around, huh? We've got the opportunity for this basically +22 for 3 of a kind Joker. I'm on board with what's happening here. But let's kick off with the Arcana pack, see if we can't hit a moneymaker. Didn't quite land. We could try and get our money back a little bit this way. If, say, the cards that we want here, I'm kind of okay with getting rid of Shoot the Moon. It is strong. It just doesn't like really tie together with the Even Steven. And if we have to pick one or pick the other, like if we play a 3 of a kind 10s, that's gonna, or I'm sorry, well, it's just with our discard strategy with the Even Steven, it doesn't play out. So I'm gonna sell it for 2. Still just gonna try and make some money here. I'm just gonna use the random Joker thing. What did we hit? Oh, 10 malt if we hit a flush. I don't want that either. So that was just break even. Now we'll pick up this 3 of a kind Joker. I think we're off to the races now. I don't want the to-do list. So what do we got here? Negative Joker for the next one? Okay, I'm on board. Whoever needed money anyways, right? Jesus. Okay, so we're going to discard the high cards, and we're going to discard the odd cards. We only want to have evens out here. Looks like we got 3 of a kind 8s. Probably enough to just win. Nailed it. 18K. Doubled up what we needed. All right, good stuff. Interesting thing with 3 of a kind. Now, if you go to a casino, this is an interesting thing. If you go to a casino and announce your hand, that's the hand that you have to play. And so let's say you go and you have a flush, but you don't realize it and you call out your hand as a straight. So let's say that you have a straight flush, you have a royal flush in your hand. You have a couple of options of how you can display that. The way that I recommend doing it is you say nothing. You just put your hand on the board, and then the dealer looks at it. The dealer says you have a straight flush, and then you agree. Now, if the dealer looks at your hand and reads it wrong, you're able to correct them to the higher hand, but it's on the dealer to pick out the correct hand, and they are almost essentially always correct in picking out the biggest one. Now, where that's important is we're saying you have this royal flush, right? Let's say that you thought you had like 4 clubs and a spade. You put your hand down and you announce straight. You have to play a straight. It doesn't matter if the dealer looks at your hand and says, you have a straight flush. Why didn't you say that? You announced a straight. You have to play the straight. And so you're always just supposed to turn it over like that. Now, where that comes interesting with the 3 of a kind is there is some parlance to the naming behind the other words that you can use, right? And so the big thing with that is if you want to call it trips or a set, right? And so if you want to say I have trip 3s or I have a set of 3s, those do indicate 2 different things in terms of how the hand is actually built, whether or not you're using the hands on the board or if you're using the entirety of the cards within your hand. And so if there is, say, you have like ace king in your hand, but there is jack 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 on the board, that would be trip jacks, right? Because there's 3 of them visible out on the board. But if you have a set, so you have like ace king, but there's ace ace jack 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 on the board, and you announce the set is actually from using the cards within your hand. That's when you have a pair within your hand to match on board. And I don't think that ever turns itself out to be poorly. I got corrected quickly when I announced my hand wrong, and the dealer was like, no, if you're saying set, you have to have the pair within your hand. But it's very interesting to just announce a hand wrong and just fucking lose on it. And so I just quit showing. I just turned him over and was done. The dealer says, this is what you have. And I say, why, yes, it is. Thank you. You are correct today. But what are we going to do here? We got this red card. I'm fine with this. It's not one of the strongest ones, but it's in the negative space, so that's going to work for us. We are planning on opening a bunch of booster packs eventually, and so that maybe that eventually will come around at some point. But being a negative joker, I think we might as well go ahead and pick it up, and then we'll see if, as we are the majority of the way through the run here, if we can't upgrade our hand or upgrade our economy along the way. So what do we got? Discarding the face cards. Ace is odd. We don't want that. Discard the 9. I guess that wasn't a real prime example once I thought about it more, but I definitely had issues with saying the 3 of a kind versus set and got called out on it, and I know that you can announce your hand wrong, and so it's a weird shit that happens. just let the dealer do everything is the rule of the day. All right, $9. Picking up the chips. What do we got here? Spectrals and Arcanas. Let's kick off with this Mega Arcana pack. It costs 6. It's fairly expensive, but it's a 5 card inside, so maybe we will finally land on something that we want. Not really. We did hit the tower. We randomed into it. I'll go ahead and replace this 5. It's going to not really do anything for us. Now, what is this wild card? Don't care. We could create a joker, but I'm not super interested in selling anything at the moment. Like, I'm happy with Even Steven, happy with Zany, happy with the trio. The one that we want to get rid of is going to be Wrathful, and then eventually Hallucination. But I want to find plus chip cards before we get rid of Wrathful, and we don't really have any plus chip kind of stuff in here. Guess we can make a glass. These are all just the wrong, like it's no even cards. This is gonna do like, well, fucking fine. Fucking fine. Oh, no, we shouldn't have done that. That's horrible. We have the red card. We should have just skipped. Right? Wild Hearts, 2 Tarrats don't want. We just skip. That's another thing to note. You can do that. If you're on the open 2 packs, you can pick one and then skip the second, and it still counts as a skip for red card, or appears to be shiny gold card out here now. Alright, what do we got now? Did crack another pack, landed on another glass card. Load up a card in hand is fine, and then destroy 1 random card to get 4 random numbered cards. I'm not opposed to that. Like, you have to assume that maybe half of them will be good, right? We'll hit 2 evens and 2 odds. It might even work out in our favor a little bit, since 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 is 5 cards, to where 3, 5, 7, 9 is only 4. So we are slightly better to hit what we want, although the cards we're blowing up here may not be as useful as we want. Let's go for it. So we hit a 5. Oh, and we just nailed across the fucking board, huh? Just hit 4 even cards along the way. It's good stuff right there. Now, how do we feel about the Invisible Joker? Just say, get rid of the monies. I sold our glass card. I mean, duplicating the trio does sound kind of nice. I don't think we need it. All right, next round. That seems like the kind of thing, if you're going for a, like, just big win, whatever you want to call it, whenever you hit the scientific notation, then more power to you. That seems like a good way to go about it, but not exactly what we're trying to do here. All right, there's, I guess, 4 of a kind 2s. All right, got him. 28K. Cruising right along. This is the kind of point to where I start to feel in my head there's absolutely no way we can lose this run. And I feel like it, every time I say it, every time I feel it, it just doesn't come together. And so I'd like to win. I don't want to be doing any losing here today. So let's see if we can fight through. All right, we didn't land on really anything we want. I want the Hermit. It's not here. Guess we can just skip this stuff if we want. What was our last tarot card? Convert to glass card? It's like we're just never going to use the Fools, apparently. Right, open that second pack. Hanged Man is fine. It's probably just, like, not as good. That's the thing that, again, like I say it every single video. I feel like the Hanged Man coming from a Slay the Spire background is just like, oh wow, this is one of the most important cards in the game. But your decks are so big in this that, like, taking 6 cards out of our deck using the Hanged Man into the Fool just doesn't sound very good. All right. Let's keep skipping along, keep improving. Discard all these non-even cards. I don't know if we should have gotten rid of that 6 or not. We really want to hit a deuce or an 8. Let's look for it. Here it is. Got the 2 at the end of the day. So yeah, feeling good. Like, again, we can replace the hallucination at some point. I'd like to find some more plus chip cards, but I think we're good to go. These hands are coming together nicely. What do you got? I saw the face card come up, and it's just not what we want to do. So take this Omen Globe. like the spectral cards can appear within Arcana packs. Maybe we'll high roll the plus 20 gold Arcana pack along the way. Nonetheless, hit lovers up at the top. We randomed into the tarot card. I don't want wild cards. I don't care about that. We did manage to finally find the hermit. Here's here's my thought. It's like I don't even really care about the money anymore. I'm kind of tempted to just Wheel of Fortune 3 times. Now, I'm gonna do it. I think this is the way it's gonna be. If we're ever going to hit a Wheel of Fortune, this has to be it, right? This has to be the time. We're gonna do 3 back to back. Nope, nope. All right, come on, fool. Who's the foolish one here? Spinning the Wheel of Fortune, trying to draw 7. Of course we miss all 3. That card never fucking hits. All right. Now, I'm no wizard at mathematics, but if we do a 1 in 4 chance 4 times, you're guaranteed to hit it 100%. Apparently not. What a bunch of bullshit. This game is dumb. Alright. So much for trying to have fun. What do we got here? Let's see where that gets us. We do need to improve our deck a little bit. That might have been a little too spicy, right? I would like to copy up some of these face cards or get some of them out of our deck or something. If you're going for the purely top game theory type of run, probably should have just taken the Hermit and copied it a bunch of times, right? Where'd that get us? That 3 of a kind got us to 20k? Okay. Only have 1 discard left. Let's see if we can't hit another 3 of a kind. Hit the 6s. And we hit the 8s. Let's go ahead and play the 8s. I don't think we'll need to play an additional 3 of a kind, right? We hit 20k off of deuces or whatever that last one was, and so this should be good enough. But I'll keep the 6s in hand just in case we need to play another. Yeah, 20k. Oh, I guess we do need to play another. It's not that big of a deal. We'll definitely hit that 900 gold or whatever on this one. Alright. What bullshit. 4 spins of the wheel. Missing every time. Alright, what you got here? Uncommon jokers give bonus malt. We're good on the X malt, I think, with just the trio. 4 of a kind we're not going to chase after. Alright, Arcana pack. Ooh, deja vu. Uh-oh. Okay, 5. Hey, it works. It did something. It did something. What's that? Plus 10 malt. Okay. I guess that's something. Guess that's something. It fucking took long enough. Alright, we gotta focus in now though. Can't destroy all of our jokers. Add red seal to something. I guess the 10 is fine. It's not a particularly good red seal target, but if we get to hit it with like bonus chips or something and activating it twice, becomes pretty good. Alright, looking for those small cards. There's the 10. Not quite where we want to be, though. I'll get rid of the 6. We don't have any good bonus 6s at this point. We didn't hit. How bad is this if we don't have 3 of a kind? It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So I'll play a kind of discard hand here with the pair of 2s. At least we get to score a little bit with the bonus card. Is concerning though. I mean, on the previous hands, like the 3 of a kinds were hitting for like 20k. I feel like we ought to hit 20k across the next 3 hands. We spiked one here, but I feel like that should have been fairly safe. I was was really hoping that lucky card spiked for the gold, but can't get it all. There you go. Nice 30k hand. All right. Let's take this one home. What do we got? Don't need the ice cream. You know, if it was a little bit later in the run, I could see it. But I think it's not quite enough there. Don't want to deal with the discards. Looks like this will just be a skip. Okay. Diamond cards are debuffed. So what do we got? Big cards, number cards. Only 1, 2 remaining out of there. I'm gonna discard one more. 6, 8, 10. I guess that's what we can go for. The scoring for the debuffed thing isn't really that big of a deal. As much as I know we have some pretty decent 10s to try and hit 3 of a kinds with. But here, play the 3 10s, attach along the 5 and the 2 as a kind of free discard. We won't get the win off of this set, but I think we're off to a good start. Oh, no more discards. 3 of a kind 6s with a king 9. Should end the round, but see how it goes. Still a little worried about this. It feels like it's a little challenging to hit these 3 of a kinds. I mean, I know we haven't done a ton of work to really upgrade our number of them, but feels like it's a little off. What's this? the lucky cat gives a bonus malt for every time a lucky card successfully triggers. We don't have the deck for that today. The half joker could be useful. I don't think we need it at this point. We're good on flat malt. Like, we're getting 22 out of the zany if we play 3 of a kind, and then we're picking it up other places as well. And so it's definitely a strong build around. It's not something I think that we need. This is kind of tempting when to actually take the hieroglyph and just replay the round. I don't know. Like, this isn't the time to be playing for economy, but we got to upgrade our deck a little bit. Now I got to watch down here with the eye. No repeat hand types this round, and we know that our 3 of a kinds have been giving us about 20k, and so we need to hit like 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, full house to try and punch through that. So we definitely need to find some upgrades, or we need to find a reroll thing before we get there. It's definitely a losable round when that dum-dum pops up. Got to get there first. We'll just draw to the 10s, the 4s, and the 2s. The 4 of a kind 4s. We'll have to kind of watch our numbers as well. I'm pretty certain that when we use that prismatic card, whatever it was called, that put the 4 number cards in our deck, I think it was 2 2s, a 4, and a 6. And so if we're going to dig for 4 of a kinds, we need to kind of watch our numbers out here. And don't really want to play like a 3 of a kind 2s when we need the 2s to hit 4 of a kind. I don't know how much we can actually play towards that, but something to watch for. All right, let's crack some packs. We'll start with Arcana. There is a Fool out there on the board, so we'll see what that points itself to. Immolate. It would have been nice an hour ago. Lucky card's kind of interesting. Bonus cards are the one that I'm pretty tempted to pick up. And we did hit the Empress as a random. I mean, there's like 1 card we care about and 2 that would be nice to keep, the 4 and the 8, but I think the Immolate's going to be okay here. It unfortunately blew up the stuff that we wanted, but I think that's okay. Now what do we got? Shiny looking 10. What are our numbers here? We have 5 10s, 3 8s, 4 6s, 3 4s. Yeah, so the 6s and the 10s are the big ones. Or I'm sorry, the deuces and the 10s are the big ones that we want to be upgrading. as we're trying to get in that space of hitting 4 of a kinds. I'll buy the Fool. I'm not going to use it, though. And then it is a nice... the Wee Joker would have been nice on, like, Ante 2. But it's a little far away from usefulness now. Okay. So there's a 3 of a kind 10s. See what we can do. We or at least it is kind of appealing coming into this boss round. I know it's going to be tough to do since we can only play the one hand, but do have the Empress and we do have the Fool to potentially upgrade our cards in the middle of combat. So I think there is a reasonable chance that as long as we save these tarot cards that we get to play like really big point hands one time. We'll see. This is definitely the round where we need RNGesus to help us a little bit. All right, so what do we got in here? Wild card, don't care about. This has been a kind of a crappy pack. Let's jump in with this Arcana pack. Maybe we'll find something big. Joker, Hearts, Spades, Destroy, Tarot cards. We'll just skip. Still at least boosts the red card. Same thing with the Buffoon pack. We'll just take it and skip it. I don't plan on using whatever's here, but does give us that bonus malt. Get the red card up to 12. Probably want to roll just a little bit. See if we can't find anything. Ooh, adds the number of times the hand has been played to the malt. It's 14 on 3 of a kind. That's pretty meh at this point, I guess, right? We're 1 discard away from red card being bigger than that. Even Steven is typically only good for about 6, but that does have our foil chips on it. I guess the question would be, do we want to replace Hallucination with it? But I mean, it's got the 10 malt. We're only getting 14 at best out of the Supernova. Skip that. It's a little too late for Square Joker. 50 chips if the hand contains a pair is fine, but it's not better than our foils we already have. And this will be the last one, I guess, before we run along. Definitely don't want the face card thing. Alright, so yeah, this is definitely losable. We'll see how this plays itself out. Again, we got to try and play 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, and full house, right? And so the 10s and the 2s were the big ways to try and hit on that. So I am going to send away the 8. Like 4 of a kind being the challenging one to actually hit here. There's fucking 5 of a kind 2s. I assume that just like has to be better than 4 of a kind, right? 120 by 12 as opposed to 60 by 7. Yeah, sure is. Let's make the most of this. So let's put the malt on 2 more of these. Let's use the Fool as well. Just go all in. All in, as they would say in poker parlance. We can still upgrade this other 10, even though it won't be involved in this hand. Is this just gonna one-shot it? You take a one-shot with the deuces? Let's see. Let's see. Y'all were worried. You all were worried about that. Easy game right there. You don't need to repeat hands when you just draw 5 of a kind. RNGesus was bringing the blessing since he didn't give us that on the Wheel of Fortune. All right, off to the races. So what can we do here? Don't want face card thing, club malt, whatever. Happy enough with the hand. So we get the bonus hand for each round, kind of like a free discard if we need it. Let's crack these packs as well. Tarot card comes up. It's convert to spades. I'm just going to go ahead and sell it. We're never going to use that. Otherwise, the red chip deuce could be useful. We'll have to find something else to put on it, but if we're just going to be discarding to 10s and deuces, I think that's okay. And then a purple chip stone card, fine. I guess that could have been used as a discard, but seems reasonable. Ooh, man, a very large blind at the very end. That's kind of scary as well. I didn't want to pick up either of these tags anyways. Like, rerolls at 0 is kind of meh. Celestial Pack's kind of meh. And so, let's fight through and see if we can't get good upgrades. Alright, so we can lead off with this 3 of a kind 2s and a stone card. Curious how much that gives. Good to know for that last round. Like, this is better than medium quality 3 of a kind since it has the stone card attached to it. And that got us to 40. And yeah, against that last boss, we need to get up to 300k. I don't think we can beat that. That's a pretty tall order. We'll definitely beat this round with 3 of a kind 10s. We just need 10k, but we get a tarot card for discarding this purple thing. It landed on the Fool. What's a flat 4 of a kind give us? Like, even if this gave us 150k, I wouldn't feel particularly good about being able to beat that boss. And this isn't going to be near it. 42k? Yeah, we definitely want to be searching for a reroll if we can find it. What do we got? Just fucking Celestial Packs? This game's dumb. Alright, next round. Let's see. Oh man, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. So close, man. We're getting right to the end, and seeing that mega big blind turn up is just a disaster. We used all of our luck on the previous run. Alright, so we got 4 10s. Wonder if we should have gone ahead and upgraded this like red seal card. We have the Fool in hand to where we could turn it into Malt. Same thing with this 2 out here now. Okay. I don't know. I guess we could get the opportunity to just upgrade it next round as well and just pick the one that's actually in our hand. That's probably the better way to do it, but if we can get out of the... I don't know. We'll probably never get out of the next pack with enough Arcanas. We have the 3 slots in hand. Alright. This big hand was only 54k. Yeah, 2 4 of a kinds only got us 100k. And we need 300k to end the round. Yeah, we got to find something good within this pack. Either some kind of real Joker upgrade, or we got to find... something. You gotta find something. There's no other way to put it. So in the Spectral, we hit the Emperor, which gives 2 Tarot cards. Let's go ahead and crack that. We hit the Empress, which is Malt, and Lovers, which is Wild. Purple Seal is too late to care about. Enhanced Face cards is not bad. Convert to Suit doesn't count, and then Destroy Jokers, never happening. I don't think we want to skip. I think we need... Oh, hang on. That's Enhanced Face cards. We don't want those. Right, so that is a skip. Let's see if we find the Hermit in here. We're going to need to do a bunch of rolling. Glass, Steel. Steel is probably what we need. Just drop it on the 8. It's one of the cards we'll hang on to. Okay, so what do we got? Retrigger all cards is quite powerful. So let's see. Let's think. If we're going to play with the Even Steven, the retrigger is going to be better than what the hallucination gives, right? We not only get a little bit of bonus chips, but if we say play 4 of a kind 2s, then we get to activate the Even Steven for an extra 16 malt. If it's a spade, we get that extra bonus out of this Wrathful Joker we still have in our deck for whatever reason. And so I think this is a definite upgrade over the hallucination. So we'll go ahead and snatch that one. So you are in. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Okay, well. I'm not certain if this is one of these spots to where you can just quit the game and come back and not lose the run at that point, but we definitely wanted to spend that 30. Damn. I mean, I guess at least we got a small upgrade there, but it's kind of crappy. Kind of crappy. So let's go for those 2s and 10s, see what we can hit. We don't want to waste a discard if we don't have to. I mean, 3 of a kind 2s is a little reasonable. Like, it's not the space to where we have to find the bigger hands. $53K on a pretty solid hand. Looks like we have a full set of discards out of this. Ace, queen, 9, 8. So now we can play a 4 of a kind 10s. I definitely want to put malt on the red seal. Fine, it circled itself back around. But we didn't miss out on that. 4 of a kind 10s with a stone. It's going to be a big hand. $126. Well, we're getting close. We did completely whiff on the lucky card, right? We have the lucky card in there that didn't hit anything, and now we've like finally hit steel. what a time for it to turn up just so late in the run here. But I mean, I guess we can play just like this 2 pair. Kind of tempted to play the 8, but we probably don't have a ton left in terms of good cards, right? We've got 2 10s and we've got 3 2s. But we don't have any 8s left, and so we're never going to play a 3 of a kind 8. A lot of face cards left in there. Looks like we can still hit 3 of a kind 4s. All right. That steel card just turned up just a little bit too late. I wonder if we had the opportunity to get a good discard to where we played a hand before we had some discards because we were playing like 4 and 5 cards. I wonder if we could have discarded first to try and find the steel, because it is exceptionally good here. But what's left? We don't have to just play the small cards, right? I mean, it is where we really want to be at this point, like playing the 4 of spades, activates twice, hits the Wrathful Joker twice, hits the Even Steven twice, and all of that scoring happens before the steel card hits. And so it's a pretty powerful thing to do. So the question is, like, I think what we want to do here is we want to play the pair of kings with the 4, and then just take that kind of 3-card discard and hope that we fall back onto 4 of a kind deuces. So I am going to, this is a wild card. I guess the wild card we can still use on this king to have him give us the bonus spade. I don't know what 2 is left in our deck, right? We would prefer to upgrade a 2 if it doesn't have anything on it, but I don't want to waste I don't want to have it turn up and be like, oh, it's already enhanced, you know. So king, king, 4. All right. Oof. All All right, so we need a 100K hand here. Did not hit the deuce at the end of the day. Okay. We'll include the jack. let's include the jack. I don't think this is it. I think this is a little bit short. 15K. 15K short. And so, yeah, I mean, that's tough. There's definitely a lot that we could have done in this run differently to get us, 15K chips at the end. It was a fun run. It was a good time, but we admittedly did not play it optimally. And so there's kind of 2 points to that, right? The number 1 point is the kind of like LOL Mimi version, right? To where we did try and roll 4 separate Wheel of Fortunes. That's just not something we should have been doing. But, you got to have some fun on occasion, right? What's life worth living for if you're not out there having a good time? And so you got to come out there and just go for the big dice rolls on occasion, see if you hit and have a good time with it. And so that didn't come together. I admit that was not the optimal strategy. The thing that I think we missed on is the place where we were really lacking, where it was really hurting at the end of the day, was the red card. I think it's called red card, our negative joker that gets the +3 mult bonus whenever you skip a hand. I feel like, in the early game, maybe we managed our economy poorly, but that turned out okay. We had some like awkward spots in terms of, do we want to spend this money and hee-hawing with that? Like, I feel like, while maybe not 100% optimal in terms of economy, I think it was pretty reasonable. I like how our deck came together and how it went about. But once we got to that kind of mid-game point, the near end game, and the negative red card turned up, and we had our economy running, and we're cracking all of these packs, I feel like we just didn't really think about it enough and didn't really give it enough direction. Like, we don't really want to be picking up like the +2 bonus things, like that stuff that we could have all just skipped on and enhanced the red card. And so I feel like we probably should have had that red card at maybe like another +9, +12, +15 off of stuff that we just skipped over. I feel like we just took some tarot cards that we ended up just like selling and not really using. Like, I feel like that was kind of a low point in where the run really went awry. But it is what it is. I think that it's tough to really kind of like hone in on all of the pieces that you're trying to do. It's what I called muscle memory in the space of Legends of Runeterra, as to where, like switching from Expedition to Constructed, we knew what all of the cards were, right? It wasn't like it was a space to where we were jumping into a completely new game. We were playing the same game, but like if you're getting current in the meta and then you jump into best of 3 and you play against like a deck that was meta 6 months ago, right? So you play against someone playing Thresh Nasus in the space of best of 3. You never see it on the ladder, but it was an exceptionally popular deck like 6 months ago, a year ago. We just really struggled in that space because we didn't really know what was happening to us. But as time went on, as the years progressed and we got stronger and stronger and we built up that muscle memory, it does 2 things, right? It lets your mind kind of be sharpened into the correct direction to understand how the plays are going to go. And then you also have that knowledge of what the matchup should be kind of looking like. Even if you don't explicitly understand everything that's in your opponent's deck, you do understand that, like, he's going to play some early game scaling units. He's going to sacrifice off all of his own things. If we cast removal spells, he's going to be Glimpse from Beyonding his own units. And we would need to really watch out for maybe a Siphoning Strike. And we can dodge Nasus flips by killing our own units before he can strike, right? We can kind of like piece that stuff together throughout the course of time, since we had that knowledge now. And I feel like that's where I'm still kind of like lacking in Balatro is, it's like we picked up this red card. I kind of immediately dismissed it because it's not a strong card at that point, right? It's just some kind of scaling card that we don't really plan on scaling, but, it just kind of immediately slipped me as we moved on that, oh man, maybe getting like an extra +9, an extra +12, an extra +15 mult on this thing is going to make much more difference than like 1 gold off of one of these random tarot cards, or a random planet card or something. And so I feel like that was the big point to where we really missed. Otherwise, you know, we didn't make great usage of the Fools either. You do get to start this run with 2 copies of the Fool. I don't even remember what we used it on. And so did we use it on? We used it on Wheel of Fortunes. Okay, and so we definitely could have made better usage of the Fool, but at the end of the day, we tried to have a little fun. But didn't have as much success in the run as we would have liked. But nonetheless, good stuff, good fun. I had fun with that. I hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So if everyone enjoyed the video, hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way. I had a good time watching. This is Bustin' We. Thank you for being here.